From Washington, this is VOA News. U.S. Secretary of State Kerry says he's encouraged with coalition building against IS militants. UN peacekeeping force being beefed up in Central African Republic. I'm Victor Beattie reporting from Washington. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry continues his effort to build a U.S.-led coalition against Islamic State militants at a conference in Paris today that brings together diplomats from 26 nations, the UN, European Union, and Arab League. On Sunday, Mr. Kerry said a growing number of countries are prepared to join the fight, although not with ground forces.
We're not looking to put troops on the ground. There are some who have offered to do so, but we are not looking for that at this moment anyway. The answer is yes. There are some that have said that. There are some that are clearly prepared to take action in the air alongside the United States and to do airstrikes if that's what they're called on to do.
He said the U.S. will not be coordinating with Syria in fighting IS militants. The UN Security Council Sunday condemned the beheading of British aid worker David Haines by IS militants, calling it a heinous and cowardly murder. The African-led peacekeeping force in Central African Republic has transferred authority to the UN mission in CAR, known as MINUSCA, striving to end 18 months of sectarian violence. UN peacekeeping chief Hervé Ladsous says one of the missions of the force is protecting the fragile economy from pillage by rival militia groups.
We are working with the World Bank and with others to eventually make sure that, yes, this legitimate wealth of the Central African Republic does not benefit only to armed groups, spoilers, traffickers of all sorts. This is one of the top priorities of the mission.
The UN peacekeeping mission so far comprises 6,500 soldiers and 1,000 police. This is VOA News. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon Sunday urged all sides in the violence in Central African Republic to put an immediate end to the fighting and advance a political transition. In Washington, U.S. spokesperson Marie Harf confirmed reports the U.S. is preparing to reopen its embassy in Bangui.
Approximately 20 U.S. Armed Forces personnel have deployed to CAR to support the resumption of these activities. They were deployed along with U.S. Department of State diplomatic security personnel for the purpose of protecting our embassy personnel and property. For security reasons, don't have additional details to share about the exact timing of when it will be reopening.
But she says it will be in the near future. The mission closed due to security matters in late 2012. The Wall Street Journal reports President Obama will outline further efforts to combat the Ebola epidemic across West Africa. It reports the effort will cost another $88 million, above the $100 million already in the pipeline, and it will involve U.S. military forces. Sunday, Liberia's President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf fired 10 senior officials for failing to heed last month's warning to return to the country from overseas to help in the government's fight against the Ebola virus. In Sierra Leone, the disease has taken the life of a fourth doctor. Dr. Olivet Buck, head of the Lumley Hospital in Freetown, died Sunday just days after being tested positive. In Sweden, center-left Social Democrat leader Stefan Löfven has declared victory in Sunday's general election with nearly 44% of the vote over the center-right ruling coalition. But the anti-immigrant Sweden Democrats garnered a near-record 13% of the vote. The Sweden Democrats say they believe they may hold the balance of power. Officials in Pakistan say at least 17 members of a wedding party died when their boat capsized in a river in Punjab province during some of the worst monsoon flooding the region has seen in decades. Floods and landslides from days of heavy monsoon rains have now claimed almost 500 lives. Forecasters are warning of days of heavy rain and the potential for life-threatening floods and mudslides as Hurricane Odile moves over the Baja California Peninsula in northwestern Mexico. The United States has won the Men's Basketball World Cup, the automatic Olympic berth that goes with the title. Fielding the youngest U.S. team since 1992, the Americans routed Serbia in Madrid Sunday, 129-92. I'm Victor Beattie, VOA News.
That's the latest world news from VOA.